Hello, I'm Monickie Scott.
Hey, and this is your girl, Felina B. Flossin. Thank you for joining us as we support and encourage women in their five-star living journey. Today, we get to shine the five-star spotlight on the scholarship doctor, Rhea Watson. Rhea is the president and founder of Scholarship Solutions, a premier scholarship and college consulting firm. She works with students worldwide, ages 6 months to 90 years young. She's an international speaker, having presented to audiences in Egypt, England, Germany, Gabon,
Mm.
Jamaica, Gabon, Jamaica, South Africa, and North America, teaching students of all ages and how to be a debt free college experience.
Yes, and personally, Rhea has earned over $300,000 in scholarships and has helped hundreds of students enter the colleges of their dreams and win more than $200 million in scholarships. Rhea, welcome to the Five Star Living Show.
Thank you, ladies. How are y'all doing?
We are doing good. Now that we got you to tell us about how to get the money, we are so excited to share you with our listeners. You have an amazing journey and some mind blowing information coming up. But first, we like to handle a little five-star business. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, good deal. So when you hear those words, five-star living, what does that mean in your world?
Well, thank you so much for that question. I kind of think of the W's, and one of them may not be, but I'm going to go ahead and let you know about my five-star living.
Okay.
I think about we, and so I guess I'll do that in a double way for family as well as community. And so when I'm thinking of five-star living, absolutely 100% about the people who love me and who I love and who I'm blessed to do this work with every day. And then those I'm able to give back to and to seed into their lives across the world. So those are my W's there. And I am doing world. The other thing is wealth. And I think through scholarships and the grant process, as well as government contracts, you can create generational wealth. And if that doesn't deserve a five-star rating, I really don't know what
That deserves a five-star rating. That fair.
It helps with family, right? And it helps
Yes.
to build community when we have our wealth.
Yes.
I
Yes.
also, I'm going to do this one last, but it's not because it's last.
Okay.
But I also think about wisdom. And in Proverbs, it talks about wisdom being the principal thing, right? And I'm hopeful always to educate, uneducate. I don't know if it's a word, y'all, but it's going to be today on five-star
Okay.
living,
Okay.
uneducate and re-educate folk. We just going to say folk on the college process, the scholarship process, and again, building that generational wealth. So
Wow.
that's another W.
That's awesome. I think that's the first time we've had someone mention the word wisdom when it comes to five-star living. I love that. I love that. And with all that you do for so many people, I have to imagine that there's a lot of juggling and struggling and juggling and keeping things all in balance. What are some things that you have to do to make sure that you keep balance in your life?
So before I answer that, can I talk about my last W though, so I get my 5 points?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm all ears. School us.
And this is again, last but not least, it's all about worship. And
Mm.
so I am
Oh,
a Christian. I love the Lord. And I really feel that
yes.
although I have an amazing, striving business, it's all because of Him. But the thing is, I really believe that it's ministry. And so I have to always give my worship. And like I said,
Yes.
even though I put it last, there's no way in any way that He is ever last.
Yeah,
And
that's called the best, save the best for last. There you go.
that's right. Thank you so much for that. So now may I answer your question?
Please, yeah. What do you do to bring with everything that you have going on? How do you keep yourself balanced or, how do you know when you're off balance and what do you do to get back in sync?
Yeah. So, it's really been a little bit of a challenge with things going through in our world. And because I am a traveler, and whenever I've needed just to say, Rhea, it's time to reset, refigure. Y'all remember with like relax, relate, and release.
Yes.
Relax,
Yes.
relate, release. Yes, I'm young enough to know that one.
Mhm.
Yes, has been beach therapy for me. So I've had to recreate some of those things in my more recent times because of some of the limitations with being able to leave my wonderful city of Las Vegas, Nevada, and come back. And so that's been really important for me. But I also have to tune into mama. And I will notice when I'm off track that I need the words of my mother, and I need the expertise of my mother, and I need literally mama. And she reminded me one time, she hasn't had to do it often, but she told me, no matter how old you get, Riri, I'm always 25 years older than you. So with that, I've had to take that in and be able to live my life and say, you know what? She may not do my work. She may not have as many degrees as I have. She may not have traveled as many places that I have. But regardless, she has the wisdom of 25 years that I will never, ever catch up with to her. And so that is something that I've had to do to make sure to streamline and get it right, is to tap into my mom. And we've already talked about worship. And if there's anything, again, that gets me right, is to get in the word, to settle down, and to listen to that still small voice. And when those things come together, in times when, again, I haven't had the steam because I haven't had a facial, haven't had my nails done, haven't had all those things, it kind of can put them in the category of when that comes again for me because of those things that I just mentioned to you.
Wow.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, Rhea, thank you so much for giving our listeners a little insight on how you are living a 5-star life. Hey, walk the shimmy. Now let's talk about your journey.
Okay.
So tell us about your organization and its mission, Scholarship Solutions.
Yeah, so Scholarship Solutions, we are a premier college and scholarship consulting firm located in the beautiful city of Las Vegas. But thank God we've been able to reach all across the world. And our whole mission, goal, and directive is to help and assist scholars. And we call everyone a scholar, ladies, ages 0 to 99, from the womb to the tomb, from birth to death, to have a debt-free college experience. So we don't care who you are, where you're from, what your educational, economic, or ethnic background is. If you are interested in using college, as we say, a stream of income, we're going to make sure that you do that and not accrue or incur debt with that process. So we're blessed to do that through international speaking. You all did such a wonderful job introducing me all over the world. We've been able to present and continuing with that. We'll actually be doing some presentations in Europe next month. And that's just our whole goal, again, to let people know you don't have to be in the United States. You don't have to be an American citizen. If y'all didn't know, you don't have to be a student to earn scholarships. And so we do that, again, through international speaking, classes, courses, and individual services where we're able to teach you and yours how to go to college debt-free. That's what we do all day, every day.
Oh, very amazing. How were you led to this type of work?
So I'm from Vegas. I'm a Vegas girl, like West Side, like
right?
Sweet Vegas. Even though I was not born here, I've been here since I was 3 years old. It is all I've known outside of my travels and outside of my time of going to college where I lived away from home. But I never changed my residency. I've never met a city like Las Vegas. So although I go away, I'm always happy to come home because Vegas is it for me. So on and from the West Side, I was that girl who got a ton of scholarships to go to college. And although I had a ton of scholarships to go to college, y'all, I was true first-generation college student. Okay. My father, the wisest man I've ever had the privilege of knowing and loving and just trusting and seeding in me, was actually functionally illiterate. So my dad could not read or write. He did not finish the 11th grade. I think he got to it, but didn't quite make it to the second semester of 11th grade. And again, he was functionally illiterate. And but he instilled the power and the importance of education. And again, he was the smartest and the wisest man I've ever had the privilege of knowing. My mom, on the other hand, graduated at 16 years old from high school. She had one of the highest IQs ever, one of the first women of African descent to be hired at Blue Cross Blue Shield. She went to college but didn't finish, got married to my amazing daddy, and never wanted to leave him. So together they said, we have these two girls. We're moving them from East Boogie. Y'all know about that? East St. Louis, Illinois.
No.
Moved us from East St. Louis, Illinois, which is across the bridge from St. Louis, Missouri. Said we're going to raise our girls in Las Vegas and create a new legacy. So again, I was true first generation college student. I'm like upward bound Vegas. Okay. I graduated from upward bound at UNLV. I finished at Echoes Christian Academy, which is a small private school on Washington. But I was first generation. And because of that, my parents did not know a lot. But my mama, again, we would sit at the West Las Vegas Library in Las Vegas, Nevada, and look at books and apply for scholarships. And I got a ton of money. But my parents didn't know enough to tell me that, Rhea, you got 5 full ride college offers. Don't turn that down for your dream school. And so that's what I did, ladies. I went to my dream school. They gave me the largest financial aid package they had ever awarded in history at that time. And so I came from Las Vegas with my scholarship, this huge financial aid package. But what I didn't know, y'all, is that package included loans. And so my parents, so happy with their first generation, their first baby going to college, first one really in my family. My dad is one of 11. And I was almost the first person to do that out of all of my cousins, all of his siblings. It was incredible. And so we were sitting in this big auditorium. Somebody in front said something about a loan, and I was smiling and happy. I signed that paperwork, y'all, and my parents said, sign, Rhea, and so did everyone else. And I didn't learn until I was ready to transfer that I had actually signed away thousands of dollars in student loans, because although I had all these scholarships, I had a thing called a gap, and they fill that with loans. Well, to fast forward, I know that was a little bit long, but to fast forward, I went to a place that healed me because I was broken from my dream school. And when I got healed at Morris Brown College in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, it's a little historically Black college and university in the Atlanta University Center. So if you know anything about Spelman, Morehouse, Clark, Atlanta, where's also Morris Brown, most people know us from Drumline. That's my institution. That's my yeah. And so my sister and I both graduated from there, but I had a woman who was in the basement of Morris Brown College psychology department. My mama Jeannie is what I call her now, but at the time she was Dr. Jeannie Marshall, a little white woman at a 99% all Black school. And she said, Rhea, I see something in you. And I think that you have the potential to not just earn scholarships, but actually to get paid to go to college. And I remember turning to Mama Jeannie now, and I just said, Dr. Stahl, my family doesn't know about this. My people don't know about this. But she did. And she helped brown faces from across the world not only earn scholarships, but to actually get paid to go to school. And y'all, from that scholarship opportunity that she told me about, I was paid $1,000 a month to go to college. After all my tuition and fees, room and board were paid, they sent me a check every single month for $999.99. And I told my mama, I said, you know what? I will never let another soul go by without knowing not only can you earn scholarships, you don't ever have to have debt, and there is somebody who will pay you to go to school. And y'all, that started my mission at 21 years old. And I've been doing it for the last 20 plus years, telling people you can do it better and differently than I can. And now about 60% of my clients are actually paid, with my largest client earning $2.5 million in scholarships. She was actually had us featured in Black Enterprise magazine. And just about 2 weeks ago, she started Howard Medical.
My,
I know that's a long story, but thank you for letting me share.
We were gonna ask about success stories, and I don't even know what else to say, but wow, and wow.
Yes.
That is, I mean, I don't even know how to follow up with that other, what, have you had any obstacles, any challenges you had to overcome in this journey?
Lots of obstacles, lots of journeys. As I told you, I teach what I learned from. So again, I had student loans. This is not ever about a judgment with me. I'm someone who comes from a very, very challenged family. I told you, my daddy could not read or write until the day he passed away 5 years ago. We were privileged in this community of Las Vegas, Nevada, to start a Christian school. So my illiterate father owned a school and has graduates across the world. But with that came definitely challenges.
Yeah.
To tell you guys a story, I remember my dad, again, was so committed to education and so committed to university life that he took my sister and I on a college tour to UNLV when I was in the 7th grade. And I'll never forget, even though in Philippians it says, forget those things that are behind, it's still something that kind of sticks to me. I remember we were the only African-American family on this tour, although there were Caucasian families who had kids around the same age, because believe it or not, that's not unusual for families to do things like that and introduce college super early. Yeah. So my dad had set this up and we were on our way and we were in our best, including my dad in his tie and jacket. And this young kid who was doing the college tour, just like they do now, I remember him turning to my dad and asking him in front of all this group, did you graduate from high school? I looked up at my daddy and the face that he made as all of these people were looking at him. And you guys, this is now, late 80s. That was the thing, right? To graduate from high school, and especially in Las Vegas, college was very different.
Yeah.
And I remember just waiting to hear what my dad was going to say, knowing his history and the regret and the shame that this was attempted from this little kid who knew exactly what he was doing. My dad just said, yeah, that was a challenge, right?
Yeah.
That was something to try to break my father as a Black man, right? So my life has not come without challenges.
Yes.
Doing things like that and experiencing that and feeling that and knowing in that moment, ladies, honestly, I had to say, even though that forced my father to be in a compromised situation, I'm doing this for him.
Yeah.
And with every degree that I had and every piece of paper, said, this is for my mama and my daddy. And my dad said, Rhea, when you graduate, I graduate. So even though in that moment, it took a few more years, but when I got my high school diploma, daddy got his high school.
Absolutely.
I got my college degree, daddy got his college degree.
Yeah.
When I got my graduate degree, my daddy got his graduate degree.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, life has come with some challenges, even at times when someone tries to shame you, maybe for whatever the reason, in front of your children. Still you rise. Still you have 5-star living, right?
Yes, you are still 5-star living. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that remarkable story with us. That's like you've paid it forward over and over and over again with every person that you have helped. You've paid it, you've done it, and you're still doing it, and you continue to do it. So congratulations on that, and thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome. Thank you all for what you do. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I'm speaking over you, but thank you. You're welcome.
So very amazing. I wish I could just sit and talk to you for hours and hours, but please share with our listeners how they can find you online.
Oh, thank you for that. So we're everywhere, y'all. You can listen to us on Power 88, KCEP, every second and fourth Monday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'd love to have you either live listening on the radio or through their app or online. My website is myscholarshipsolutions.com. So that's my singular, scholarship singular, solutions plural.com, myscholarshipsolutions.com. And then I'm everywhere on social media, including TikTok. Hey, come on, y'all.
That's a long way from books in the library to TikTok.
Right.
And I am Scholarship DR. That's Scholarship Doctor.
Awesome. Scholarship Doctor.
Instagram. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
And Twitter. And then you can find me on Scholarship Solutions on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. But if you go to my website, everything's tied there. So I'd love to have you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Rhea, so much. Thank you so
You are
much.
welcome. Bless you guys.
Well, we want to thank you for listening to us and joining us on this 5-star day.
Yes.
We believe in you. We believe that you are going to have a more 5-star life starting right now.
Right now. We know that you could have chosen to be anywhere, but you chose to be right here with us. And so for that, we thank you. And we look forward to seeing you on Facebook at 5-Star Living Show and joining the 5-Star Living Show Inner Circle. Remember to laugh more and love more while taking care of your mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely. The 5-Star Living Show is sponsored in part by Flossie Flicks Photography, Monickie.com, Flossie Locks, and Meditate with Mo. Until next time, keep 5-star living.
Keep 5-Star living. Bye-bye, y'all.